$11.39. That's your balance. Not your savings, your balance. You check it lying on a dingy mattress you bought at a flea market, almost midnight. You check it again, and the number doesn't change. $11.39. You have $35,000 in student loans. $3,800 on a credit card you told yourself was just for emergencies. And rent is due in 9 days. You do the math in your head, not because you want to, but because your brain won't let you stop. $780 rent. $11.39 in the account. One paycheck between you and a conversation you never want to have. You put the phone face down on the mattress. You pick it back up. $11.39. You are not lazy. You are not stupid. You went to school, you got the degree, you did what they told you. But nobody told you it would feel like this. This is what net worth zero looks like. Not a number on a spreadsheet. A weight, sitting on your chest, at midnight, in a room that still smells like whoever lived here before you. But here's what I need you to understand before we go anywhere else. This is not where your story ends. Level 2. Net worth, $10,000. The first time you see 5 figures in an account with your name on it. You don't celebrate. You just stare. $10,212.47. You got here by eating the same 4 meals on rotation for 8 months. By saying I can't make it to birthday dinners, happy hours, weekend trips, so many times your friends stopped inviting you. Not out of cruelty. They just assumed. You drove the car with the cracked dashboard and the AC that only works if you hit the vent just right. You picked up the Saturday shift nobody wanted. You sold the PlayStation. And now, $10,212.47. It's not enough to retire. It's not enough to brag about. But it's enough that when your tire blew out on the highway last Tuesday, you didn't cry in the parking lot of the auto shop. You just handed over your card. That was new. That feeling of a problem being just a problem instead of a catastrophe. That's the first real taste of what money actually is. Not status, not power, breathing room. Level 3. Net worth, $100,000. It's a Tuesday, 6:47 in the morning, and while you were sleeping, your money made $340. You didn't clock in. You didn't take a call. You didn't do anything. $340. While you slept, you have $104,880 across your 401k, your index funds, and a high-yield savings account your coworkers have never heard of. Your car is still used, a 2019 with 61,000 miles. Your apartment is still small. From the outside, nothing looks different. But inside, everything is different. You've stopped flinching when you see prices. You've stopped doing the mental math at the grocery store. You've stopped lying awake wondering what if. The money isn't just sitting there. It's moving. Every month, automatically, without you touching it. 20% of your income routes itself into accounts that grow while you live your life. The people around you don't fully understand what you're doing. Your mom thinks you're being antisocial. Your college roommate calls it obsessive. You don't argue, because you've discovered something they haven't yet. Discipline now is just freedom wearing an ugly disguise. Level 4. Net worth, $500,000. Your boss calls you into his office on a Thursday afternoon, shuts the door, and starts a sentence with going forward. We're going to need you to. And something happens that's never happened before. You stop listening. Not because you're rude. Not because you don't care. Because somewhere in the back of your mind, a quiet voice says, I don't need this. You have $494,000 in investments and $60,000 in a HYSA. Your monthly expenses are $3,200. Your portfolio, on a normal year, returns more than that. You don't quit that day, but you could. And that changes everything about how you sit in that chair, how you speak in that meeting, how you stop shrinking yourself to fit someone else's expectations. They call it FU money, but it's not about arrogance. It's about the first moment in your adult life where you walk into a room without fear. Level 5. Net worth, $1 million. You wake up without an alarm. Not because you're retired. Not because you have nowhere to be. But because you designed a life where the urgency is optional. The account says $1,240,000. You don't look at it every day anymore. You check it like you check the weather, casually, once a week, mildly curious. You drive a car that's 3 years old and perfectly fine. You live in a house that's nice, not extravagant. Your neighbors have a bigger pool and a newer truck. And you genuinely don't care. You've stopped explaining yourself. You donate $2,000 last month to something that mattered to you, and you didn't tell anyone. You coached your kid's soccer team on a Wednesday afternoon, not on a weekend. A Wednesday, because you could. Here's the thing no one tells you about the first million. The money doesn't make you happy, but the freedom that comes with it? That hits different than anything you imagined on that dingy mattress at midnight. Level 6. Net worth, $10 million. You haven't looked at a price tag in 2 years. Not because you're wasteful. You're actually still weirdly frugal about small things. A habit that never fully left you. But because the math simply stopped matching. You have $10.4 million spread across real estate, a private equity stake in a company, index funds, and 6 months of cash sitting in accounts most people don't know exist. You have a financial advisor named Daniel, who sends you a quarterly report you actually read. You have an estate attorney who rewrote your will twice in the last 3 years because your life keeps expanding. The conversations you have now are different. You're not talking about surviving. You're talking about legacy, about the scholarship fund you're setting up, about whether your kids understand what money actually is, not how to spend it, but how to steward it. You still remember $11.39. Not as a wound, as a compass. If you are getting value in this video, click the subscribe button. We want to hit 1K subscribers before the end of May. Help us get there. Level 7. Net worth, $100 million. At $100 million, money stops being the subject. It becomes the backdrop. You don't think about spending. You think about structure, foundations, boards, conversations, with people who are trying to solve real problems in the world, and writing checks that actually move things. Your time is the scarcest resource you own. You protect it with a ferocity that surprises people who knew you before. You still eat breakfast at the same diner you went to in your 30s. You still call your mother every Sunday. The private flight is there because time is money at a scale most people can't fathom. Not because you need to feel important. Here's what $100 million actually feels like. Quiet. An almost unsettling, enormous, permanent quiet. The noise that money makes when you don't have it, the anxiety, the math, the fear, is completely gone. And in that silence, the only question left is the one that was always the real question. What are you going to do with the one life you have? Every person you've ever admired, every founder, every investor, every person who built something from nothing, checked an account once that looked a lot like yours. The number doesn't disqualify you. The decision you make tonight does. If this hit different, share it with one person who needs to hear it. Like this video and hit the subscribe button. I drop no BS videos on personal finance and how to build wealth from nothing. The Smart Money Clan. See you in the next one.